More than 15 years ago, no one knew about Tesla, and the concept of an electric car triggered the image of a dishwasher or a toy, rather than something that can reach a speed of 60 miles per hour in less than 2 seconds. What happened? The Tesla phenomenon. To understand the Tesla phenomenon, you first have to understand how Tesla was able to create such a successful electric car. Before we get into the details of how Tesla was able to conquer the market, let's have a look at what we're dealing with. But safety first. Let's not even mention how much time Tesla engineers spent on the development of each model. For example, the Model 3 mid-range that we're playing with today, its performance and acceleration. Of course, it's not a brand new Model S Plaid that goes from 0 to 60 in less than 2 seconds, but this one is a great part of the Tesla family. Surprisingly, the fact that it's an electric vehicle makes it faster than most of the regular combustion engine cars. But how come? Their engines have less moving parts. Less moving parts means less friction. Less friction means better performance, better power output, and faster acceleration. Let's take a look at what we have under the hood. Wow, there's all this space to put money that you save on gas. Imagine that all the horses are right there as soon as you press on the gas. You don't have to wait for the engine to rev up. One thing Tesla proved to car enthusiasts is that electric cars don't have to be boring. This ain't no dishwasher. The Model 3 is a fun and fast sedan that can compete, surprise, and even win against some of the muscle cars. Still have doubts? Name just one more car that can increase its performance by getting an update. That's why I like to compare Teslas to iPhones. With these updates, even the mid-range Model 3 is certain to pin your back to the seats like a supercar. Let me show you how it's done. Apparently I gotta adjust a little. The Model 3 mid-range 5.6-second blasts to 60 miles per hour is a few seconds faster than the Ford Mustang. Let's check it out. Wow, I anticipated this, but didn't actually believe it until the last moment. These two vehicles don't seem like a mechanical match, but even this 2018 base Model 3 can outperform this 300 horsepower Mustang. Why is that? Because of a faster response time and the overall build quality. The company that we know today started out as Tesla Motors, Inc. in 2003, some 18 years ago. The Roadster, which was produced in 2008, was a fully electric car and could achieve 245 miles, or about 400 kilometers on a single charge.
You know, one thing I'd say to anyone who's considering buying this car is, you're not just buying a sports car, you're actually helping pay for development of the mass market vehicles.
This was a fantastic result for a production electric car. 0 to 60 in less than 4 seconds and a top speed of 125 miles per hour. To take part in the increasingly lucrative market, automakers are constantly outcompeting each other to have a bigger market share. In the past few years, more and more automaking giants have released new electric cars. We're not talking about your grandma's Nissan Leaf. We're talking about the new BMW iX, the Mercedes EQS, the Audi e-tron, and the Jaguar I-Pace, and even an electric Mustang, the E-Mach. Of course, there's way more out there. Let me know your favorite in the comments. Now, even though Tesla can brag more about brand recognition, the other guys can brag more about the quality of materials and overall assembly. Even Elon agreed with some of the negative comments relating to the paint jobs and gaps in the panels. Although, speaking about interior, Tesla only offers vegan leather options for the seats, and in some models introduced a 100% leather-free interior. They managed to use a synthetic leather for the steering wheel as well. If not a phenomenon, then what is it? I mean, Tesla is a baby in the automotive world, where other brands have been around for over a century. So I doubt anyone else is going to be able to repeat their success in the near future. When it comes to business approach, Tesla beats most existing car manufacturers by what I would call a 3-0 knockout. Tesla's approach was based on direct sales and services rather than franchise dealerships, and this is the first hit. There are no salesmen in Tesla locations. Those people are product specialists who can answer any question about the car and the company overall that any prospective buyer can have. The philosophy of those locations is simple yet beautiful, and that's one of the reasons it attracts people. Tesla only sells cars online, therefore there's no need to haggle potential clients at the offline location, and it helps a lot, as according to the DME Automotive Survey, only 21% of people find salesmen trustworthy. And the second hit is Tesla's character, which it gets from its creator, Elon Musk. For example, it's the only car whose finger you can pull. So instead of 10 being the max volume, it goes to 11, just because Elon Musk wanted it to. There's also something called Joe mode, and that's actually a pretty funny story. One time a guy named Joe, surprise, wrote a letter to Tesla asking if they could lower the chime volume so his kids wouldn't wake up whenever something happens. So they did, and they called it Joe mode. And it's only quieter in the back seat so Joe's kids wouldn't wake up, and it still alerts the driver if anything goes wrong. The third and final hit is by encompassing their energy storage systems to not only include vehicles, but also homes and businesses. Tesla offers both solar roofs and solar panels for homes, as well as automatic charging stations for cars. Aside from that, they also produce something called PowerPack, lithium-ion battery stationary energy storage systems. All these products make Tesla not just a car manufacturer, but an independent producer of energy-saving products. Tesla Autopilot is probably getting more attention these days on Twitter than Elon Musk. So is it a dream or a nightmare? Do they offer the promised capabilities? Tesla Autopilot is meant to get you from point A to point B without having to use your hands on the steering wheel. But as of right now, it's only available in a few regions and it will only help you on part of your route. The full self-driving capability package offers even more cool features, such as Summon and Auto Park. Those enable your car to park itself as well as unpark. It can guide you through the parking itself. Also, this package makes your Tesla recognize traffic lights and stop signs, which makes it a fully autonomous driving feature. Well, theoretically. The coolest thing about all this is that you can activate the feature after you buy the car. All you have to do is download the app and pay $9,000. I mean, I'd probably do it if I had the money and Elon started replying to my tweets. It's a cutting-edge feature which is really cool to have, but lately has drawn some attention from federal regulators because of the crashes that Tesla has been involved in. And there's also something called auto steer, which we have in this car. What it does is automatically adjust your steering wheel to keep you in the lane and brakes as necessary. Let's see how it works. While in autopilot mode, the car will regularly ask you to put your hands on the wheel, so it's safe to say that it's not a fully automatic self-driving system. Even though a lot of other cars offer driving assistance features, it's not all about Tesla. You should still be safe on the road. Drive safely, my geekly friends. As of May 2021, Tesla was under investigation by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the NHTSA, to verify the capabilities of the electric car FSD capabilities. This has caused some reckless and careless behavior among drivers that undermine road safety. Taking all this into account, Tesla is one of the most innovative and progressive automakers on the market. If only all their features would work. Once upon a time, a bunch of geeks from Kosik in Belgium found a major security flaw in Tesla's keyless security system. They noticed that Tesla's BLE interface could receive remote software updates. So in other words, your keyless fob could have been compromised and your Tesla could have been hacked. But no worries. Tesla quickly fixed the issue by releasing a bug bounty, making it almost impossible for anyone to hack your car. There was also something interesting implemented to prevent such cases too, a PIN code that you can enable in your Tesla. You have to enter it for the car to start or to open the glove compartment. So why the heck is Tesla so popular? With the high price, questionable quality of interior and exterior parts, system glitches, paint issues, and long delivery times, how is Tesla able to stay so competitive? But remember, Tesla wasn't the first one to make an electric car. So what was the game changer? What put them ahead by so much? Well, in my opinion, people just like sleek designs and futuristic concepts, which is exactly what Elon did for us here. You stole our hearts, Elon. It's also about innovative technology and bold decisions that other car makers don't dare try. Although we might not see everything Tesla has promised, even the thought of having something that special makes us keep wanting it more. The thing is, Tesla is a young car company and it can try crazy experiments that other car manufacturers won't. Their customers have certain expectations and they're not in a place to break them. For instance, who else would dare abandon a regular dashboard and have it all on one screen? Or cut the wheel in half and have it look like this? And of course, it's all about performance. Who could imagine a dishwasher beating a Ford Mustang? Do you want more? High fuel economy, fabulous new models coming out in the next few years, generous tax incentives, longer range, lower price, and performance that can be compared to a Lamborghini. Now, this is all pretty amazing, but it's not enough to just make cool stuff. You'd really need to have an in-depth understanding of the market and your target audience to become as great as Tesla. Now, let's talk about Tesla's marketing strategy. I bet you're wondering how many zeros are at the end of their marketing budget. Well, a few. In 2015, they spent $58 million in marketing compared to BMW, who spent almost $200. Now, as far as their advertising budget, there's only one zero, and it's zero. They rely on organic demand and Elon Musk's popularity. At some point, they relied on word of mouth and referrals. They marketed to their customers without advertising directly to them. How? They encouraged their customers to do the selling for them. The Tesla referral program comes with lots of incentives that probably had a huge impact on making Tesla that popular. The first person to refer 10 people was a YouTuber by the name of Bjorn Nyland. He got an additional $10,000 on top of his initial $10,000 referral bonus. He also got a tour of the Tesla Gigafactory as well as a Founder Edition Model X. But nowadays, Tesla isn't just giving away free money. They still have referral bonuses, but they're just not as fancy as they used to be before. Another reason for the rising popularity is the man behind Tesla, Elon Musk's personal brand. The tech billionaire, investor, and CEO of Tesla, SpaceX, and The Boring Company has over the years developed a personal brand for himself that affects his business and makes people want to have the same toys as he does. Elon's influence is undeniable. He has amazing attention to detail, technical know-how, and his no-boundary approach makes him the perfect person to run a company way beyond its limits. To achieve incredible heights, you need incredible imagination, incredible effort, and incredible amounts of money, and Elon has just that. It's evident in SpaceX, it's evident in Tesla, it's evident in Neuralink and The Boring Company, and let's not forget how PayPal started before it became PayPal. Think of how Elon approaches obstacles limiting other electric vehicle manufacturers, like charging. Currently, Tesla superstations are all over the world, but are only limited to Tesla automobiles. However, Elon said that he plans to roll out a new adapter which will allow other electric cars to be charged at Tesla superstations. How friendly of him! It's neat how he gives us solutions instead of problems, allowing for the mass production of electric automobiles. And finally, Tesla isn't just about cars anymore. That's why they changed their name from Tesla Motors to just Tesla. They also provide energy storage solutions for homes and businesses alike. Well, how does it affect the environment? Are electric cars and energy storage systems eco-friendly? Electric cars in general are believed to be more sustainable and help fight climate change. So are zero-emission dreams coming true? According to our world data, 12% of the global carbon dioxide emissions come from cars and 2% from planes. This has put the sales of electric vehicles out there as they seem to have little to no emissions. The major difference between electric cars and internal combustion cars is the way of transforming potential energy into kinetic energy. In a Tesla, energy is released with an electrochemical reaction. It's all about lithium-ion batteries. There's no combustion going on. As you can see, there's no exhaust pipe, and therefore there's no CO2 emissions, and this makes Tesla a really eco-friendly car. But don't get too comfortable. As of right now, there's no safe way to recycle lithium-ion batteries because they contain a really nasty mix of chemicals. So, they're either incinerated or dumped in landfills, which doesn't make them greener at all. Let's just hope they come up with recycling solutions as quickly as they did with charging stations. According to Forbes, Tesla has failed to commit to a carbon target and doesn't disclose exact figures on its carbon emission graphs. To give you something to compare with, Ford uses science-based targets and plans to be carbon neutral by 2050. It's true that there's no emissions while driving, but what about charging? What are the charging stations made out of? What are they powered by? Is it fossil fuels? Doesn't that defeat the purpose? And while we're here, don't forget to leave your opinion in the comments. And to understand the Tesla phenomenon, you need to understand its past, the present, as well as their plans for the future. And there are a lot of things to expect from Tesla. The humanoid robot, the solution to the full self-driving issues, and the Tesla Dojo. an AI neural network training supercomputer. Aside from that, Tesla plans to release several amazing cars: the Cybertruck, the Roadster, Tesla Semi, and a $25,000 electric car. The Tesla tale started as a Cinderella story in Silicon Valley and turned into a disruptive force in the auto industry. It became a super brand by combining innovation, ambition, marketing, and charisma. Elon Musk doesn't follow the crowd, he creates demand. Because remember, if you play by the rules, you'll never reach the secret levels in a video game. Tesla changed the automotive industry forever. It changed how cars are made, and it changed how cars are sold. It made electric cars a mainstream market and not just a niche thing. And that's what I mean by phenomenon.